Hello friends, welcome to Apex Chess Academy. I am feeding student Hemal Thanki. Today we'll see the part 2 of Learn from the Youngsters. In previous part we have seen the game of Pragnananda. Today we are going to see a great talent and he has just crossed 2700 as well. So Alireza Firouza, a very good player, just 16 years boy who has just crossed 2700. Amazing. Okay, so today we are going to see his game. Okay, let's start. E4, knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, e4, d6. This opening is known as carry. Here, the classical variation starts with knight f3, bishop e2, which is also possible. Some other variations also possible. Okay, he has played h3 here, castle, and bishop to e3. Okay, and black opt for c5 setup. So there are different setups here. Black can even choose e5 setup as well. But normally after c5, if white goes for d5, then here it will the final resulting position will reach to the Benoni type of structure. While here white choose knight to f3 and white invites black to enter into Marozulite. Okay, and black simply took on d4, knight into d4, and this is so-called Marozulite. Instead of f3, white has choose h3, and we'll see this is a small difference. And here knight c6 is the main alternative, but here black choose b6, and now white played queen to d2, bishop to b7, and now only when the e4 pawn is hanging, white played f3. So here h3 looks a bit silly when white wants to play f3 here. But okay, anyhow, black has played b6 and bishop b7, so which is still okay. So now after knight bd7, and white played bishop to h6. Recently, this idea is very famous, which is we can say is almost novelty in even in Excel Dragon system as well. White is playing e4, c4, and just like a Yugoslav attack, they are just playing f3 and bishop e2 and long castle. That I'm going to cover in a separate video. That is almost a novelty. I mean, just in database when I have seen this variation, there was hardly 20 games probably, and that too is not amongst the very serious player. So still there are lots of novelties are there, and I prepared it for me as white. So where I'm going to cover it in a novelty section. So I'm going to cover a separate video of novelties where I'm going to show you different novelties in different openings. Okay, so here bishop to h6, and black played e5. Okay, uh, any slow plan from black, white just leads to play bishop into g7, long castle, g4, h4, h5, and just due to b6 and a7. I mean, black cannot generate a normal counterplay in Yugoslav like queen a5 and knight e5, knight c1. This kind of stuff is not possible. Even a6, b5 is also not possible because of very strong pawn on c4. So okay, still, I think here the best try should be bishop at 6, queen at 6, and knight to e5. And still after h4, I mean, white has tremendous attack, and this is what my recommendation mm, uh, against this Excel Dragon system, the Marozzi with Yugoslav. This combination looks very strong. Okay, so here e5 was played instead of bishop at 6. But again, now d6 is weak for the rest of the game, and white played bishop into g7, king into g7, and knight db5. And now the d6 remains weak for the rest of the game. Black has only hope that black will try to achieve knight c5, knight d6, and knight to d4, and want to achieve good knight versus bad bishop. If white puts knight d5, then I'll just take bishop d5 once he achieves knight d6. But here it's not that easy, because after knight b5, the immediate problem is d6 pawn, and here the main main battle starts. That after h6, knight into d6 and bishop to c6. Now black's intention is to cover the d4 square. Okay, white succeed to capture the d6, but the thing is, if black manages to play knight c5, knight e6, and knight d4, then this pawn uh, on d6 does not matter that much. Okay, but here in this position, white just went for a long castle. So here even queen g5 is also very interesting, because knight f5 is still a trick. So which is also possible, but white chooses long castle here. And here black should try knight to h5, still with the idea of knight f4, knight d6, and knight d4. But okay, in game queen e7 was played. But okay, this move has a very deep idea, because queen e7, black's intention is to play rook a d8 and some knight move to c5, and this knight on d6 is not going anywhere. And this is what the point behind this whole variation. So which looks very logical, and now the play is very sharp. White has to find a correct way of playing, otherwise he's going to lose his knight on d6. And here there are few moves. Here h4 is also possible, or the move that Firouza has played was very strong. He played just queen to g5. He just brings his queen into the attack, and his intention is to go for knight f5 check with the queen, but okay, black choose king h8. And here you can just pause the video and try to find out the best move as white. I'm sure this variation is, this move is really very strong. It needs a very deep understanding. Here there are mainly two variations possible as white. Two ways of winning is possible. If you find the tactical way, which is h4, then really congratulations, because this kind of whole continuation, if you find the whole continuation, that you are just playing like a machine, and your rating must cross 3000, right? But here it's too difficult to find this kind of stuff. Now let's check what this h4 move is. So h4 looks sound at first moment, but here you need to find out all the correct moves. So let's see. After h4, rook a d8. So is this side, black's idea is to play knight c5, and your knight on d6 is trapped. And still, you should ignore that threat and should play h5. And after knight c5, you have the intermediate at g6. So the point is, if opponent plays, say, rook d6, you have rook into h7. And the point is, knight into h7 is not possible, because the queen on e7 is hanging. Okay, so this variation is easy, but the toughest part is fg6. And here, white should sacrifice his knight on d6 after queen into g6. Rook into d6, rook into d6, and now again black has a very good resource, bishop e8, because queen d6 is made by simple rook h7, and still you win the queen. But after bishop e8, again white should play very accurately and very energetically with knight d5, and this kind of all correct moves are really very difficult to find out for any human. Okay, so like knight d5, knight into d5, and now queen h7, rook h7, king h7, and c takes d5, and still the b6 pawn is also hanging. So white has lots of pawns. So if he's able to win a b6 pawn, he has almost a 4 pawn for a piece, and all pawns are connected. So this endgame is of course winning for white, but it leads to almost 8 moves calculation, and that too very complex because there are lots of great move that you have to find here, which is very difficult for any human. Well, if you just go back to that position, where instead of h4, Firoza has found a very logical move, and which is g3. So the point behind g3 is why just want to play rook h2 and rook d2 and just defend the d6 knight. Very very fantastic and very easy solution, right? So this looks a human approach. This is so called a human approach. Okay, so g3, and now after knight c5, rook h2, rook a d8, and rook h d2. But probably other than h4, this was the only move, and this was a very deep idea by black as well, because if white is not able to find out this continuation, all other variations are hopeless for white. So okay, this rook h d2, and now black played rook to d7 with the idea of putting another rook on d8 and put pressure on d6 knight. So again, you can just pause the video and try to find out the best move as white. Okay, so here b4 is the correct move, because white should not give time to black to play rook fd8, and so white is just kicking the c5 knight, and say after knight to e6, just queen into e5 wins another pawn. So white is just 2 pawns up. This f6 knight is also pinned. So now maybe g4, g5 is also a threat. Maybe f4, f5 is also a threat. And the d6 knight is now supported. So this looks easy. And now after king g8, white played even b5. So just attacking the c6 bishop. Maybe some other moves like f4 is also winning here. g4 is also winning here. But Firouza choose the b5 move. Just a b5, c b5, bishop a8. And now he played knight to a4, attacking the b6 pawn as well. And after rook c7 check, king b1, and now knight to d7, attacking the queen. So you have to move your queen somewhere. So queen to b2, keep pressure along with a1 h8 diagonal. And now black played queen to g5. And here Firouza played bishop to c4. Okay, here some other trick is also possible, and which is h4, attacking the queen. So let's say if black goes for queen into g3, and the trick is knight to f5, a very strong move indeed, because now white is just attacking the queen as well, and the d7 knight is also hanging. And at the same point, at the same time, even this knight f6 is also a checkmate. So knight e7 is also a checkmate. So I mean, this is just winning, because now queen e5 is forced, otherwise you are going to be checkmated. So queen e5, and just now knight to e7 check, king moves, and rook into d7 wins a piece. So I think this h4 move was simple winning, but okay, Firouza has choose another good move, which is bishop c4. And now after knight to c5, he just took the b6 pawn, and after queen to g3, and now he chose the same trick, knight to f5, a beautiful finish. Knight to f5, but as compared to the previous variation where the knight on d7 was hanging, here the knight is on c5. But okay, still after knight to f5, again gf5 is of course made by rook g2, so gf5 is not possible, and if queen moves anywhere, then simply wins material knight a8, rook 8, and just rook d8 check. A beautiful deflecting move, because after rook d8, knight d8 is made by queen g7 mate. A very beautiful rook d8, a very good finish. So now again, if you see the critical moment of this game, the g3 was really a good move. He took on d6, and he knew that he's going to defend his knight on d6, because if you move that knight, opponent has d4 square for his knight, and black has very good play. But after knight d6, he he knew that he's going to fix his knight on d6, and he can support his knight with g3, rook h2, d2, and later he'll finish this game with so much energetic play. So this was a beautiful game by Alireza Firouza. Hope you have liked my video. Stay tuned for my future videos. Thank you.